Michelle here with today's golden thought, and today's golden thought is consistency in seeing the progress along the journey. Yeah, there was a delay there. But anyways, so the reason for this golden thought came about was from this jar. So this jar is a jar that me and my partner have, and we utilize this jar to put money in that we find on the floor. So whether if we're at the supermarket, on the sidewalk, going for a walk, wherever it may be, if when we find money on the floor, we put it in this jar here. And so one thing that came to me when I was like realized it, because today is like the first time I realized like, oh my gosh, that is full. So did I just sound like a cartoon? Anyways, so what I realized is like, wow, like I hadn't even realized like how much progress we were making in terms of this jar. And I never focused on the progress that was here. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, it's only going to be like, we should be done, like fill the jar in, 1 more week or 2 weeks or whatever that looks like. And I just thought that like in my own life, because I know I can be really hard on myself with like my own goals that I'm setting instead of just kind of like enjoying the journey and being consistent. And when I say consistent, like this doesn't mean that we found change or money every day. Consistency was more so when we saw it, we picked it up and we put it in here. That was the consistency. That was the action that was consistent. Other than that, there was not like, oh, we need to go out onto the streets or whatever. We got to at least find, change or a dollar bill or whatever it may be that day. And so the consistency can look different, right? And consistency can look different for everybody. And so sometimes I can be hard on myself because if it's like, oh, I want to, create movement, like exercise. Oh, I didn't do it every day. That means, I'm not going hard in my journey on my progress that I want to make. But consistency can be like 3 times a week or 2 times a week or, yoga 3 times a week and I walk 5 times a week, whatever that looks like, right? So it wasn't necessarily every day that this was happening in order for this jar to get filled. Also, and then making progress. Sometimes I know I do this, like I'll focus on like, oh, I'm not good enough right now. So like right now I'm learning a language, Spanish. And so I'm like, oh, I'm beating myself up because I don't feel like I'm advancing fast enough in my progress. And so I kind of beat myself up for like, I'm not getting better fast enough at my own pace. What that means, I don't even know. But I get hard on myself about that, right? But what I learned about this jar right here, I did not get hard on the progress of this jar. I wasn't even paying attention to the progress. I was more so just being consistent. Whenever I saw money on the floor, I pick it up and I put in this jar. So really the consistency allowed for the progress to happen without even me realizing it. And I didn't have to focus on like, okay, it's at this level, it's at this level, it's at that level. There was no focus on that. And I was having fun along the journey while this was happening. And so I just look at it as a way to also like remind me of my life too, and like how I see myself and not being so hard on myself, to continue to be consistent. And even if I miss a day or 2 days or 2 weeks or 2 months, I can always get back to being consistent, whatever that looks like for me, and that's okay. And the progress, I don't have to be so hard on myself on, oh, I should have been done with this, or I should have reached this goal at this time or this date, because guess what? The progress is happening with a consistency. And sometimes it's invisible where I don't even see that the progress is happening, and that's okay. But guess what? Progress is happening, right? It's feeling. And enjoying the journey, having fun, like me and my partner have like a saying that we do when we pick the money up. And so it's like having fun along that journey, and boom, before I know it, I've reached a destination I didn't even know I was like literally like at yet. But it's so fun and cool to see it. And at the same time, it's like, I don't even know if it's the destination. It's more so those things that I just talked about. It's really about the consistency, the progress, and having fun along the journey. And that's what I've learned. It's been so impactful in my life. So let me know in the comments, how and if this resonates, and if there's something that may be happening or you experienced recently that you can relate to. I'd love to hear about it. Share it down in the comments below. Treasure yourself and shine.